This week I had a question from a client that is self-managing their property. Their tenant wants to break their lease that expires this November. So what do you do when your tenant wants to break the lease? Well, first and foremost, they are going to be responsible for the rent until the unit is re-rented. So you're going to have to go based on the lease and take a look if there's any sort of a termination fee or any other charges associated with breaking the lease. You're going to go based on that. A lot of standard leases don't even have any sort of a lease break fee. That's usually more of a custom lease that's drafted by an attorney. But that being said, what I have told my tenants in the past is I will cooperate with you in your efforts to release the unit. You need to send all of the qualified applicants to me first so that I can, make sure that they qualify. But they're responsible for doing all the postings and the showings. Because you want the information to be consistent, I would provide the listing information to them, photos, the description, because you don't know what kind of information they're going to be putting out there. You want it to be accurate, because even though you're probably annoyed that it's causing you more work in order to help this tenant replace the unit with another resident, you don't want to end up dealing with the headache of an applicant that was told misinformation because you didn't want to deal with it. It is going to cause you extra work and stress, but the tenant has every right to try and release the unit so that way they can minimize the amount of rent owed. So you would handle their security deposit just as you would with any other move out, and then they would pay rent up until the day that the new person moves in and starts paying rent. Now, in the case that you rent the unit for less than what they were paying, you would also charge the difference. That's a question that comes up all the time for us. It's a total pain, but it's part of being a landlord. And again, you're going to inherit the headaches of these new tenants if you don't properly screen them and market your unit. So it's going to help you in the end, even though it's more work up front, work you wouldn't have had to do until the tenant moved out at the end of their lease. You're gonna have to do it anyways, and you're going to inherit that tenant. So it's definitely in your best interest to be someone involved in the process of marketing the unit. And of course, definitely 100% you need to be involved in qualifying the tenant and getting the lease signed and getting the unit prepped and ready for move-in.